I had barely settled into my new home when I met her, Karen. She wasn't just any neighbor. She was the self-appointed guardian of the HOA, even though she wasn't actually on the board. Within the first week, she had already knocked on my door twice. First, to tell me my mailbox was a fraction of an inch too tall. Second, to inform me that my dog was, in her words, a clear and present danger to the community. Now, let me introduce my so-called dangerous dog, Bear. A massive fluff ball, built like a tank, but with the personality of a marshmallow. He wouldn't hurt a fly. He was more likely to trip over his own paws than chase after someone. But to Karen, he was a menace. She cornered me outside one morning while I was walking Bear. "You need to do something about that dog," she snapped, arms crossed. "He's terrifying the neighborhood." I glanced at Bear, who was currently busy sniffing a dandelion. "How exactly is he terrifying anyone?" "He's big," she said, as if that explained everything. "People feel unsafe." I looked around. There was no one else outside. No terrified neighbors clutching their children, no one running for cover. Just Karen, standing there with a look of utter indignation. "I think he's fine," I said, giving Bear a pat on the head. Karen's eyes narrowed. "If you don't do something, I'll have to take this to the HOA." I sighed, already exhausted. "Karen, Bear is a registered emotional support animal. He's not aggressive, he's never hurt anyone, and he's perfectly allowed to be here." She scoffed. "We'll see about that." And with that, she stormed off. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Over the next few weeks, she made it her mission to complain about Bear at every HOA meeting. I wasn't even in the meetings, but my neighbor, who found the whole thing hilarious, kept me updated. "She said your dog was lurking in the yard," he told me over the fence one evening. "Lurking?" She claims he stares at her every time she walks past. "He's literally just sitting there," I said, pointing to Bear, who was lying on his back, paws in the air, fast asleep. Karen wasn't letting it go. She started stopping other neighbors, asking if they felt unsafe. Most of them either ignored her or told her she was overreacting, which only seemed to fuel her determination. Then, one afternoon, she took things to the next level. I was outside, enjoying a quiet moment while Bear chewed on a toy. Karen came stomping across the street, her phone already in hand. "I'm done warning you," she said. "I'm calling the cops." I blinked. "You're what?" She pressed the call button. "You'll see." Karen looked like she was about to explode. Her plan had completely backfired, and she knew it. The officers weren't taking her side, and instead of dragging me away in handcuffs, they were petting Bear like he was the best boy in the world, which, to be fair, he was. She stomped her foot. "Are you even listening to me? That dog is dangerous." The officer who had given Bear a treat turned to her. "Ma'am, I don't see any aggressive behavior here. The dog is calm, friendly, and hasn't shown any signs of being a threat." Karen's hands balled into fists. "He's tricking you." "I know what I saw." The second officer sighed. "Look, calling in a false report is a serious issue. You said the dog lunged at you. We're standing right here, and he's barely moved except to ask for belly rubs." Karen's face twitched. She opened her mouth, probably to dig herself in deeper, but before she could speak, one of my neighbors walked over. "I saw the whole thing," they said, arms crossed. "The dog was literally just sitting there. Karen's been trying to get rid of him for weeks." Karen whipped around. "Stay out of this." The officer held up a hand. "Ma'am, I think we've heard enough." He turned to me. "Sorry to bother you, but it's clear your dog isn't a problem. You're free to go about your day." I nodded. "No worries, officer. Bear and I were just enjoying the weather." Karen wasn't done. "You're just going to let him get away with this?" The first officer raised an eyebrow. "Get away with what?" "Owning a friendly dog." Karen's breathing was uneven, like she was about to have a full meltdown. "I pay HOA fees. I deserve to feel safe in my own neighborhood." The second officer looked completely unimpressed. "You're wasting police resources on personal vendettas. If this happens again, you could be fined or even face charges for filing a false report." Karen's eyes went wide. You can't be serious." "Very serious, ma'am." I watched as realization dawned on her. She thought the police would back her up without question. Instead, she was being treated like a nuisance. For the first time, she had no control over the situation. She crossed her arms, her voice coming out in a weak mutter. "This is ridiculous." The officers ignored her and turned back to Bear. One gave him another quick scratch behind the ears before tipping his hat to me. "Have a good day, sir." Karen stood there, seething, as the officers walked back to their car. She had lost. The best part? She knew it.